last topic of the fifth unit, design of the compensators. Design of the compensators. So these compensators is not a new topic. It is a old topic because these compensators being discussed in control systems. We have to discuss in study cycle control systems. So as far as the syllabus concerned, this compensators are the subject is regarding the digital system, regarding the digital system. So in this one, we are having the two types of the compensators as far as the syllabus is concerned. One is the lag compensators and the second one is lead compensators. Lag compensators and lead compensators. The, before entering into the design procedure of these two types of compensators, let me explain, let me, let me share one thing. That is, these these compensators, that means lag and lead compensators are similar. Why? Because these are going to be represented with the same transfer function. But, but with a small modification, we can say whether that particular compensator is lead or lag. Is lead or lag. Okay. So, so when you consider this transfer function, let us suppose that particular transfer function is having a equation that is k into s plus 0 divided by s plus 4. That means s plus zc divided by s plus pc. Where zc is nothing but the force and pc is nothing, sorry, zc are nothing but the zeros and pc are nothing but the force. So, so we know that the numerator values are zeros and the denominator values are four. If a transfer function is having a only one zero and one pole, and if the zero value is more than pole value, if the zero value is more than the pole value, then we can say, then we can say that particular compensator is a lag compensator. That particular compensator is a lag compensator. Let us suppose this is the transfer function. In this transfer function, we are having k into s plus zc divided by s plus pc, where zc is nothing but the zeros and pc is nothing but the poles. Okay. So in this particular transfer function, the value of the zero is greater than 4, then that particular transfer function is called as a lag compensator. Lag compensator. Or else, if the zero value is less than the 4 value, then that compensator is called as a lead compensator. Then that compensator is called as a lead compensator. Okay. A slight modification would be there. If zero value is more than 4 value, then it is considered as a lag. And similarly, if the zero value is less than the 4 value, then the system is called as a lead compensator. Lead compensator. Okay. So, coming for the definition part, the transfer function which is characterized by the pole on the negative real axis close to the origin and zero close to the left of the pole, and that is used for the purpose of improving the steady state error of the closed system. That means, that means he is going to talk about the poles and zeros on the negative side of the real axis. We can say that if the poles or the zeros or the roots of the transfer function lies on the negative real axis, then the particular system is called as a stable system As far as the compensator is concerned, if the zero values lies long distance from the origin and a pole value lies near to the origin, then that particular transfer function is called as a lag compensator. Lag compensator. Similarly, similarly, for the lead compensators, for the lead compensators, a transfer function which is characterized by the zero on the negative real axis and the pole on the left hand. So in this one, if you consider a zero, it should be nearer to the origin and the pole should be far away from the origin. That means the pole value should be greater than the zero value. The transfer function condition of a pole PC and a zero ZC, if the value of the pole is more than the value of the zero, then the particular compensator is simply called as the lead compensator. Lead compensator. So, in regarding with the stability, the lag compensator, the lag compensator reduces the steady state error, whereas the lead compensators improve the transient response of the system. That is the closed loop system. Improve the transient response of the closed loop system. Okay. So these are the definition parts regarding to the lag compensator and the lead compensator. Lag compensators and lead compensator. Okay. So next we are going to enter into the design procedure for lag and lead compensator. Design procedures for lead and lag compensator. Okay. So yeah. So this is the system. That means it is nothing but a solution for the design procedure. State the procedures for designing the lead compensators and lag compensators for the frequency response approach. With the frequency response approach means in the domain of the frequency. Domain of the frequency. Okay. So first of all, we will discuss we will discuss the design procedures regarding to the lead compensator. The design procedures regarding to the lead compensator. The first one, the first step is assume the following form of the lead compensator. Let us consider this particular GD of omega or W is equal to KD into 1 plus PW divided by 1 plus alpha into PW, where alpha should be less than 0 less than alpha less than 1. That means the alpha value should be lies between 0 and 1. Between 0 and 1. So assume the following form for the lead compensators, that is GD of omega is equal to KD into 1 plus d omega divided by 1 plus alpha into d omega. And the alpha value should be lies between the 0 and. Therefore, the open loop transfer function of the compensated system may be written as the open loop transfer function of the compensated system may be written as GD of omega into GD of omega is equal to KD into 1 plus t omega divided by 1 plus alpha into t omega into g into g of omega. Let us suppose this particular KD and g of omega product is called as G1 of omega. The product of KD and g of omega are called as G1 of omega. Therefore, this particular KD value is nothing but called as velocity error constant. Velocity error constant. So this is the transfer function we have to apply for the lead compensators. We have to apply for the lead compensators. And coming for the second step, that means we are going to derive the transfer function for this kind of a system. This is the digital control system in WPA. Digital control system in WPA. GD of W into G of W. Okay. So the second step is regarding to the using the gain KD, using the gain KD, thus determine, draw a block diagram for G1 of W, the gain adjusted by the uncompensated system, and we have to evaluate the phase noise. That means using the value of the gain KD, we have to draw the block diagram for G1 of W, that is KD into G of W is called as the G1 of W. So we have to draw the body plot diagram for that particular G1 of W, and we have to evaluate the phase one. And we have to evaluate the phase one. And next thing is we need to determine the necessary phase lead angle phi to be added to the system. Determine the necessary phase lead angle phi to be added to the system. That means after determination of the phase mark change, after determination of the phase mark change, we have to determine what is the sufficient angle has to be added to the system to make it is a lead system. That means how much of angle should be added to the system to make it is a stable system. We have to determine that. And after that, add 5 degrees to the 12 degrees of phase angle to compensate for shift of the gain crossover frequency. We have to add 5 degrees to the 12 degrees of the phase angle to compensate for the shift of the gain crossover frequency. For the shift of the gain crossover frequency. And define this added phase angle as phi. And this added phase angle phi as phi. And after that, we have to determine the attenuation factor alpha with the equation sin phi m is equal to 1 minus alpha divided by 1 plus alpha. We have to determine the attenuation factor alpha with the equation, and that equation should be sin phi m is equal to 1 minus alpha divided by 1 plus alpha. 1 minus alpha divided by 1 plus. Okay. We have to determine the attenuation factor alpha. So after that, we have to determine the frequency point where the magnitude of the uncompensated system G1 of JV should be equal to minus 20 log of 1 by root of alpha. 1 by root of alpha. We have to determine the frequency set point. That means the frequency set point has to be calculated with the magnitude of the uncompensated system of G1 of JV should be equal to minus 20 into log of 1 by root alpha. At that particular position, we have to note the frequency. and we have to select that particular frequency as a new gain crossover frequency. A new gain crossover frequency. And the frequency corresponds to Vm is equal to 1 divided by root of alpha into t. And the maximum phase shift phi m occurs at this frequency. And the maximum phase shift phi m occurs at this frequency. At this. And after that, we have to determine the corner frequency of the lead compensators as the zero of the lead compensator as V divided V is equal to 1 by tau. Zero of the lead compensator V is equal to 1 by tau, and the pole of the lead compensator as V is equal to 1 by alpha into alpha into. And after that, we have to check whether the gain margin is satisfactory or not. If it is not satisfactory, we have to repeat this design procedure with the help of a pole zero location of the compensator until the satisfactory result is going to be obtained. That means, in case of the lead compensator, we have to add such an angle in order to make that system as a stable system. So we have to determine whether that particular how much of the angle is going to be added to the frequency, and at that we have to determine the gain crossover frequency. From the gain crossover frequency, we
Online
have
class
to, determine the zero of the lead compensator V as 1 by tau and pole of the lead compensator as V is equal to 1 by alpha into. Okay. So in this way we have to design the lead compensator. Okay. So next we are going into the design procedure for the lag compensator. So for the lag compensators, let us consider the transfer function, that is GD of W is equal to KD into 1 plus beta into, KD into 1 plus DW divided by 1 plus beta into TW. GD of W is equal to KD into 1 plus TW divided by 1 plus beta into TW. Here beta should be greater than, So the open loop transfer function of the compensator system may be written as GD of W into G of W is equal to KD into 1 plus TW divided by 1 plus beta into TW into G of W. Where KD into G of W, this one, where KD into G of W is written as G1 of W. So for this one, we have to determine the gain KD to satisfy the requirement on the. We have to determine the KD to satisfy the requirement on the given velocity error constant. On the given velocity error constant. So if the uncompensated system G1 of W does not satisfy the specifications of the phase and gain margins, then we have to find out the frequency point where the phase angle of the open loop system is equal to minus 180 degrees plus required phase margin. So in case of the lead compensator, we have to decide how much of the angle should be added to the system to make the system as a stable. So here we have to, at that particular point, we have to determine the frequency point. But in case of the lag compensator, we have to determine the frequency point where the phase angle of a open loop transfer function is equal to minus 180 degrees plus required phase margin. The required phase margin is the specified phase margin plus 5 degrees to the 12 degrees. The addition of the 5 degrees to 12 degrees compensate for the phase rate of the lag compensator. So at that particular point, we have to choose this frequency as a new gain crossover frequency. The procedure is same for both the things, for both lag compensator as well as the lead compensator. But we have to concentrate on the transfer. Okay. So after that, to prevent the detrimental effects of the phase lag due to the lag compensator, the pole and zero of the lag compensator must be located substantially lower than the new gain crossover. That means if a differentiation is going to be or detrimental effects are nothing but called as the differential effects of the phase lag angle, the pole and zero of the lag compensator should be located lower than the new crossover frequency, lower than the new gain crossover frequency. Therefore, at that particular point, we have to choose the corner frequency V is equal to 1 by T, so V by tau, which is corresponding to the zero of the compensator and 1 degree below the new gain crossover. So at that particular point, we have to determine the attenuation necessary to bring the magnitude curve. At that particular point, we have to determine the attenuation necessary to bring the magnitude curve below the 0 decibels. Below the 0 decibels. At the new gain crossover. At the new gain crossover. So at that particular point, we have to know the attenuation as minus 20 into log beta, and we have to determine the value of the beta. Then the other corner frequency, that is pole of the lag compensator, is going to be determined with the form V is equal to 1 divided by beta into T. First one, for determination of the 0, the equation is 1 by T, and for determination of the pole, the equation is V is equal to 1 divided by beta into T. Okay. So these are the design procedures regarding to the lead and lag compensator. Okay. So we have discussed this particular design procedures of lead and lag compensators for this particular digital control system. And this design procedure are regarding to the frequency response approach. Okay. So once again, I am going to tell that if the zero value is more than the pole value, then the compensator is called as the lag compensator, and if the zero value is less than the pole, then the compensator is called as a lead compensator. So we have to determine the lead compensator as well as the lag compensator with the help of a model chart as well as the boot loader system. That means two kind of frequency approaches can be used for determination of the transfer function of the lead compensator as well as the lag compensator. lag. Okay, so based upon this approach, that means based upon this design approach, there are so many problems. There are so many problems. So some sort of the problems will be discussed in the next class, and remaining problems will be given. Different the solution part of the problems will be given as a material of 50. Of 50. So after the completion of the problems, the total syllabus of the digital control systems has been completed. Has been. Okay. So in the next class we will discuss how a lead and lag compositors are going to be discussed for a particular set of and these design procedures are regard with digital systems which are inclusion of zero order bond circuit along with the transformation. Let us consider this is the system. This is the system, and we have to determine the transfer function regarding to the lead compensator as well as the lag compensator for this particular type of system. And this is the digital controller we have to design, and this is the zero order pole circuit, and this is the transfer function according to the clock. And this is a closed loop system. So for this particular type of the systems, we have to design the lead compensator as well as the lag. It is a simple thing which is not confused as per the procedure is carried. Okay. So in the previous university question papers also, I came to know that it has asked as a theory question to explain the procedure of lead and lag compensators in W. In W. In W plane means we have to write these steps for the lag compensator and as well as steps regarding to the lead. It is a important question regarding to the unit number 1. Okay. So with this I am going to wind up the class for today. In the next class we will see the design procedure for a particular problem, whether it may be a lead compensator as well as the lag compensator. So thank you very much.